Hey everyone, welcome back to Ontario Gardening. So today I am sharing with you the sourdough cinnamon star bread recipe. It is everywhere this year, it's super popular, but a lot of people have only put it as shorts and not a full tutorial on how to do it, and it looks very overwhelming, especially if you're just new to bread baking in general, let alone sourdough. So I am going to put the recipe in the description so that you can get a grasp of all of the amounts of the ingredients that you're going to need, but I'm just going to wrap them off really quick so you know right now if you have them all in your house. In total for the bread, the filling, and the cream cheese topping, you are going to need milk, butter, an egg, white sugar, brown sugar, salt, an active sourdough starter, flour, some cinnamon, cream cheese, powdered sugar, vanilla extract. So that is the total recipe list for this recipe. You really need no more than a cup and a half for each, with the exception of the flour. You need 4.5 cups for that. But let's move forward with the actual recipe. So you do this in 3 steps. We're going to make our dough. We're going to make our cinnamon filling to put into the dough. And then once it's baked, you do the cream cheese icing. So starting with step number 1, this is going to be your sourdough, the dough for the star. And like I said, I'm going to put this recipe below so it's a lot easier for people to visually see it. But if you're used to making sourdough, you usually do everything in grams. This recipe is in grams, but for those who do not typically make sourdough, and maybe this is your first time or you have a sourdough starter, you can also do it in cups. I'm going to do it in grams because I'm just used to that, but again, the recipe will be down below. So we're going to start with 100 grams of your active sourdough starter. And to that, you are going to add 300 grams of warmed milk. Then after that, you are going to add 55 grams of melted butter, a large egg after that, and then 50 grams of white granulated sugar, 6 grams of salt, which is about a teaspoon. And then in best practice, we're going to beat up that egg and kind of mix this all together and then add our flour. I just want to make sure that that egg's incorporated. And as a last step for prep, we are going to put 600 grams of flour in here. You can use all-purpose flour for this if that's all you have on hand. That's what I'm using. And now we're simply just going to mix it around and make our dough. Now, as you can see, the dough is quite shaggy. What you want to do is oil up your hands and really get in there and incorporate that dough together and mix all of that flour in. You don't want to see any of these flour spots. So as you can see, as I worked it in, it actually started to become more elasticy. Now at this point, once you get some of that flour incorporated, we want to move it to a floured surface, and we're going to knead this bad boy. So I just got some flour back on it for my hands, but I am a one-man show, but you're going to use both of your hands. I'm holding my camera right now with the other one. I'm going to put this down and start doing it. And you're going to want to knead this on this floured surface until you've got a nice elasticy and smooth ball. You want everything to be soft and everything to be smooth. Pay no attention to the flour at this point because we've already incorporated the main flour into this. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera and show you what it looks like when it's finished and we're ready to start rising. Okay, at this point it is soft. We got it into a ball. Everything's good. Nothing's really overly sticky anymore. It's tacky like most dough, but it's not sticky. Now we are bulk rising this. You're going to want to put this just back in your bowl, but you're going to want to put it in a bowl. You're going to want to cover it and make sure it's a decent size enough bowl because we want this dough to double in size. That's when we know it's ready. So we're going to cover it. And now we're going to put it in a warm spot and we're going to put that there for at least 10 hours. They just recommend overnight. I have a heating mat here for my sourdough purposes. So I'm going to put it on this heating mat and wait for it to double in size in the next 10 hours. And then we're going to start step number 2. And step number 2 is making that cinnamon sugar filling, cutting out these pieces, and at that point we'll be making this star. So see you soon. Okay, step 2 after 10 hours is underway. So our dough has doubled in size. Perfect. What we are going to do now, I don't know why I can't talk. I just woke up. So take a cup of brown sugar and 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon, and you're going to thoroughly mix this into each other. We're going to need 6 tablespoons of butter for this part. I'm not actually going to sit and measure out 6 tablespoons. You'll see what we do and you can kind of eyeball it. I have faith in you. But if you're one of those people that have to measure it out, you do you. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our dough out of this bowl and divide it into 4 equal sections. If that looks like weighing it for you instead of eyeballing it, definitely do that. The dough will be a little bit sticky to work with. If that's the case, just flour your surface and flour your hands a bit. One of the best tools for this whole bread is a bench cutter. You can get one of these at just the dollar store. You can use a paring knife for this, a pizza cutter. Anything does work, but this does make life easier because it's just a really long metal piece. 4 equal parts, let's do it. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take each ball, each section, and we're going to roll it into a ball, and you're gonna need a rolling pin because each one of these are going to be flattened out into an 8 to 8.5 inch diameter circle. And if you want to use a ruler, you can. Some people have silicone mats that have like the inches that tell you on the sides. For reference, this is what I'm using. A standard dinner plate is about 8 to 8.5 inches actually. It's not the big dinner plates, the like small dinner plates. This one's actually 8.5 precisely. So you're gonna roll it out and you're going to get it to that 8.5 inch circle, and this is for all 4 pieces. And this dough does have some spring back, like every time you roll it, it wants to spring back into a smaller shape. Just keep working it until you get that circular shape. And as I go, I've just been putting them right on my dinner plate so I know that I've got the correct size. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this and we'll do the next step. So now we have our circles rolled out, and we are going to, at this point, we're splitting everything in 3. So we are going to put one of these down, 2 tablespoons of butter, and then 1/3 of this mixture. And that's why I said with the butter, I wasn't measuring it exactly, because, I mean, if you put a little too much butter, it's okay. It's a cinnamon situation. You can't really overdo it. You're spreading that on evenly, so you're going to want your butter to be softened and able to spread. We're spreading this on the whole thing, and just make sure you transfer it to a parchment paper at this stage because then it's going to be easier. And you're going to want to put 1/3 of this mixture and sprinkle it on top of the butter. And if you are one that needs exact measurements for this part, it's 1 cup of sugar and then some spice, so you're gonna want to do like 1/3 cup on each layer. That makes your life any easier. So it is quite a bit on each layer, but honestly that's okay because that's where that cinnamon sugar goodness comes in. So go ahead and put your next layer on top, and that's just simply layering it. And we are going to do the exact same thing, 2 tablespoons of butter and then that 1/3 cup of the sugar mixture. And then once you've got the second layer done, you're gonna go ahead and do the same with the 3rd layer. Now you've got that 3rd layer done. We're gonna go ahead and use that 4th piece to just put on the top of this layer. And when you're watching a short of this being done on social media, it goes really quick and it looks pretty easy. It seems very drawn out on these longer tutorials, but it does take a little bit of, you know, patience and a little bit of time, especially rolling out this dough. But here is going to be the quote-unquote most intimidating part, in my opinion. It will tell you to use a shot glass at this point. I'm using a larger shot glass, so this isn't like a small shot glass. This is a pretty big one, and you're going to want to put it smack in the middle of your dough and just press down lightly to make an indent. That's going to be the line that we're following to make our star. Now the bench cutter, or your paring knife, or whatever you're using. Another reason the bench cutter is really nice is because you've got a couple layers to go through here. It's nice to have something that's swift. So honestly, if you go to the Dollar Tree and get one of these, it's worth it. But we are going to create almost like a cross, but don't go through the center. So we're gonna start here and you're gonna press down and you're gonna cut all the way through all of those layers until you have a section like that. You're gonna wanna mimic that on the top. So following this line just right up here at the top, but again, not going through that circle, you're wanting to go around the circle because this is our middle. It's the star's middle. Then coming to the side, going down here and opposite this side. So as you can see, we have made a cross without actually going through the middle. Now at this point, we want to go, so this is a section, you have 4 sections. We want to now middle each section. So we're going to go in, still not touching the middle of the star, and cutting these sections, each one in half. Because eventually, these are going to be our star points. Okay, that was our second set of cuts. Now we are going to have 8 of these sections, these little pizza looking sections. We want to cut those now in each one down the middle until we have 16 sections. We currently have 8. We're going to slice each one in half, and that's going to make 16. Now this part does get a little bit trickier because it's quite delicate, but right, and you do have to watch for that. It's better to do this with 2 hands, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, now it's at this point, we have all of our points, and we want to twist them. Not every loaf is going to look the same. Not every loaf is going to look social media perfect, but this is the gist, so just bear with me. So you're going to look at what started as a section using 2 pieces. So we've got our 2 pieces here, and we're wanting to twist them. But you don't want to twist them away from each other. You want to twist them inside of each other. So your right one is going to turn into the left, and your left one is going to turn into the right. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so that right section, we are just turning like this. And then our left section, we're turning into the right. And it's going to be like this. And then on the bottom, we're just wanting to pinch them together. And the reason we're doing that, we're like almost turning them into ourselves so that they stay together during the baking process. And it doesn't have to be perfect so long as it's just kind of tucked into one another, it'll bake out. You don't have to like mash them in. It's going to ruin the star. We're going to do this with the entire thing. We'll see in a minute. Okay, so here we have it, our star. Now, this has to sit and it has to rise for another 2 hours. I'm going to suggest putting it in whatever vessel you plan on baking in. Whether that's a Dutch oven, a roasting pan. For me, it's a cast iron with a lid. That's what I have because my Dutch oven I don't think is quite this big. Let it rest covered for 2 hours in a warm spot. We'll see you then and we'll start baking. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours. It is nice and puffy. Looks fantastic. You are going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And you have a choice now if you want to do an egg wash or not. So the egg wash would be 1 egg to 1 tablespoon of water. Mix it all up and brush the top of this. That'll give it some crisp and browning on the top. I don't like egg washes on anything. I'm going to do a butter wash. Just saying, it's a little bit better. It's still going to give you that brown and crisp on the top. I just don't like the eggy. That's just me, but your choice. You don't even have to do it at all. But we're going to put this in the 350 degree oven for 40 minutes uncovered and then 10 covered. So we're going to get it no matter what you're in. I'm in a cast iron because this star was too big for my Dutch oven. You could do this in a turkey pan. You can literally do it in anything that is oven safe. Put it in the oven for 40 minutes, and whatever you are using either has to have a lid for that last 10 minutes just to prevent burning on the top, or if you don't, like my cast iron actually doesn't have a lid for this one, I'm going to just put a piece of tin foil over top and that'll stop the burn as well. So I'm going to do a butter wash on this throw it in for 40 minutes uncovered, 10 minutes covered, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's cooked, and we are going to make that cream cheese icing topping. Okay, we have our cinnamon star. Now at this point we want to make our topping, which is the cream cheese icing. So to a bowl, 2 tablespoons of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of milk, half a teaspoon of vanilla, and half a cup of icing sugar, and you're going to beat that until it becomes your proper consistency that you like. Make sure to give it a taste test before you spread it. You can add more cream cheese if you'd like, whatever it is for flavoring. I'm definitely going to add some more cream cheese. Just the 2 tablespoons of the cream cheese will give it more of that sugar icing that you would get on a typical cinnamon roll. The more cream cheese you add, the more cream cheese flavor. That's what we like here. So I am going to throw this on top. It's not piping hot. I've given it a minute or 2 out of the oven. Let's go spread it. I ended up using one of these bad boys. Now, if you added less cream cheese than I did, just the 2 tablespoons it calls for, this is going to be a little bit more translucent for you. Mine's more of a white icing at this point because of all the cream cheese I added. But you're just going to get that in all the crevices. And then we are actually going to let this cool for quite a bit. This cast iron pan is going to be like ridiculously hot. So let it cool for a bit before you serve it up. But I'm going to show you once this is cooler what this looks like when we open it up. Okay, so it's cooled a bit. It's got its star shape back once it starts to kind of melt down. I've taken it out of the pan. Look at that. Look at that moist cinnamon bread. Trying to get it to focus in. That's a Christmas winner, friends. So there's your sourdough star bread, cinnamon sourdough star. Good luck and enjoy.